44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I did it, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like they in front. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a maid, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rain for real.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
See the eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the pop ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls to fall through. Look, I keep this shit 50 times two. Ain't no more hard in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than an avalanche, way above average. Beers tasty, told to make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this what hope found. Now become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans through a mall quad. Telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out there, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like that child, no danger. Trying to warn them niggas, we bear arms like a ranger. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems for it. I really see profits under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I want to check it white like a panda.
What, oils? Check 1 2 1 2. All right. All right, shalom. Yahweh Shem Shabbat to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema al Thaba Shem Yahweh to all the sisters. This is the Isupk Tuesday night brotherhood class. We're rocking with Priest and Officer 50 Maya Shaw, holding it down till Officer Mark gets here. And let's get right into it. Matter of fact, can one of you brothers get for me book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20? Book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20, man. I'm saying I don't think I'm overstating it when I say, you know, how important brotherhood is for the Israelites, you know, saying so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. One second. Matter of fact, now go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's very important to have that brotherhood in black, Hispanic, Native Indian communities. That's why the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations are the hell they are today. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lack of brotherhood there. You know what I'm saying? So in order to have that proper brotherhood, not just between the separate communities of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but as a whole, as Israelites as a whole, all blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians to get along with each other, you got to come back to this Bible. Come back to your heritage, first of all. Know who you are. Learn who you are, and then learn these records. These laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we get out of our condition of hell we're in on the earth. You got that, brother?
Go on.
Go ahead, read.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. And it reads, if a man say, I love God,
right,
and hateth his brother.
Stop right there. Now, man say, I love God, and he hates his brother. We see this all the time. Where? In the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? I love God. Praise Jesus. This, that, and the third. But he hates his brother at the same time. Keep going.
He is a liar.
He is a what?
Liar.
A what?
Liar.
A what?
Liar.
A liar. It had to be said here in the Bible. If you say he loves God but hates his brother, that man is a liar. You understand? It's right here in the Bible. My brother just read it. You understand? If you hate God, if you love God but hate your brother, you are a liar. You don't really love God. Keep reading.
For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he have not seen?
Isn't that pretty much self-explanatory right there? I mean, if you can't love the brother who's in front of you, brother who come from the same neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, from the same street, work the same slave as you know what I'm saying, be at the gas station, you know what I'm saying, you can't love that brother who going through the same kind of things you are. If you can't find your way to love him, how can you love God who you can't see, who ain't around? You understand? Don't make no sense. You understand? And furthermore, how else does it make sense when that's God's child too? You know what I'm saying? That brother, that fellow Israelite, God loves him. So if you can't love that Israelite, then you can't love God.
That's right.
Drop that for me, brother. Let's go to the book of Matthew 25 and 40. Book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40, man. And you know, if any of y'all have questions too, you know what I'm saying, y'all feel free to ask and whatnot. This is the Tuesday night brotherhood class, but you know what I'm saying, we take off topic questions.
So like
you,
you, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, there you have it, you know what I'm saying? This is, and by the way, that's a commandment by God. It's written here in this book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. All these are laws by God. And that's a commandment, meaning that's divine law. You understand? Israelites have to love each other. It doesn't matter how you feel, you must love your brother and sister. You understand?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, of course, that doesn't mean we all instantly become best friends or nothing. No. But you don't have to hate that fellow Israelite. That's what it's, you know, the main point. You're not supposed to hate that fellow Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And
sir.
We need to have instead compassion, understanding, and empathy for one another. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And it reads, and the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you.
Now, stop right there. Now, the king shall answer and say, let's go ahead. Now, the king speaking there. Who's speaking? You know what I'm saying? It's written in red in the New Testament, right? Who's speaking there?
Christ.
That's Christ, exactly. You know what I'm saying? The king, our king, Christ, our king, says, verily, verily, surely, or verily meaning surely, keep going.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
Go ahead, my bad, brother. Read that for me one more time. It's a lot.
All right, go on.
From the top.
And the king shall answer and say unto them.
All right, we've established that's Christ. He's speaking. He's saying, oh, okay. He's saying verily or surely. Keep going.
Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren.
As much as you had done this unto one of the least, my brethren. Oh, yeah, sounds good. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, it's like. Can you hear it out of your because it sounded like that was dead for a second. Okay, come on. Okay. So he said, as much as you've done unto the least of one of these, my brethren. You understand? So what you have done to anyone, the least of Christ, like the least of Christ's people, who's his brethren, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? For you to do something to the least, the lowest status of one of his people, keep reading.
Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
And it's like you're doing it to Christ. You know what I'm saying? To mistreat a fellow Israelite, fellow black, Hispanic, Native Indian man, woman, and child. To do that is like from the highest position to the very lowest. You doing the same unto Christ because that's his people. That's who he cares about. You understand? So to do wrong unto them is like doing wrong unto Christ. You understand? And that's like. Oh, God. So again, that's Christ. That's a law from Christ, a commandment. You know what I'm saying? A commandment being divine law. You understand? Drop that for me, brother. Let's go on to the book of Salakia. John 13 and 34. Book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
Salakia, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's pretty straightforward right there. What you do to Christ's brethren. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're doing it unto him. His brethren, of course, being Israelites, as we said before. So how you treat another black, Hispanic, Native Indian is the same how you do to Christ. If you love Christ, and as much as you claim to do, you have to love your brother and sister too. Now, if you hate your brother and sister, a fellow Israelite, that's just like hating Christ. You understand? So you see the dichotomy Christians have. You know what I'm saying? They hate one another, but claim to love Christ. Well, you can't love Christ if you hate one another. That's Christians always do. You understand? You got that for me, brother? Book of John, chapter 13, verse 34.
This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. And it reads, a new commandment I give unto you.
All right. Now, see, this is Christ speaking. You know what I'm saying? It's written and read in the New Testament. Christ speaking. He said, a new commandment I give unto you, which meaning a new law I give unto you. You know what I'm saying? Read.
That ye love one another as I have loved you.
You know what I'm saying? You love your brother. You love your sister, a fellow Israelite, black, Hispanic, Native Indian, just like Christ loves blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, the way Christ loves the Israelites. You understand? Any more on that?
That ye also love one another.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you could skip up, go up one. What's that? Sir? Go ahead, sir.
How do you love your brothers if you're in a situation when your brother is against you? For example, like your brother is like trying to pick a fight with you in a club, like because you also teach that we're not supposed to be Christians.
That's right.
And so how would you handle that type of situation?
Come on, sir. So in something like that, a brother is he stay on you. He's trying to pick a fight with you. You know what I'm saying? It seemed almost inescapable. Like I said, we're not Christians here. We defend ourselves, but at the very last resort, you know what I'm saying? We try every instance as we can to reach brothers. Keep trying. It's like, look, I ain't your enemy, brother. I ain't trying to fight you. You know what I'm saying? You even walk away if you need to. You understand? Matter of fact, that's probably the first thing to do. If he still keep trying to egg you on, trying to get you to get down with him, well, shit, you just got to walk away because if he gets his hands on you, I mean, you are able to defend yourself. We're not Christians here, so do what you have to do, but avoid at all costs trying to get into that fight. That's basically it. Go ahead.
And you're at camp and Christians threaten to fight you, you don't pick the camp up and leave.
No, lie.
So would that not be kind of like the same thing? Someone's in your face and they're trying to fight you,
Right.
and you turn your back on them, wouldn't that be coward?
Defending yourself is one thing, but also trying not to get into a fight and altercation is another. And you've said as many times as you could, trying to diffuse the situation, and it still won't stop. Now, camp is one thing. We're going to ground, and a camp leader will give an order that we need to we have to defend ourselves in that situation. But from a brother in the club who's actively trying to get trying to fight you, well then do all you can to not get into that fight. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I'm with a couple of the brothers, and it's a Jake in the world who's in the club as well. He's drunk, and he's with whoever he's with, and we bump into each other at the bar.
All right.
I turn around and I say, "Salaki, excuse me, brother, trying to be brotherly like what we teach."
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "Nah, man, to hell with that. Man, I'm about to bust you in your face. You don't know who you just bumped into, bro, for real. I'm about to deck you over your eye right now." Then what do you do?
I'll say, brother, it's not serious like that, and I'm sorry you're having this issue or whatever it is, but I'm going my way. I advise you go your way. I would say I walk away from the situation. You know what I'm saying? We are not to start fights. We are to defend ourselves. We're not to start any fights. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that, sir? Oh, okay, all right. Okay. What did we leave off on?
30.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
So what if you in the club and if someone starts beating on one of your brothers? Let's say you coming from the bathroom, right? And you see one of your brothers in the middle of the club rolling around, getting pushed down, and you don't know who's at fault. Like, let's say it's a situation where one of your brothers, one of the men you was with, is actually wrong, right? He could be wrong. He's too drunk. He done probably said something trying to get with some girl, but the girl really got a husband, and he's out of line.
Right.
And now he getting jumped on, you understand, because he overstepped. And he, you understand, did something that he shouldn't have done. And now he getting jumped on in the middle of the club. You come out the bathroom. Then what do you do?
Well, in that case, as a fellow brother in the school, I have to get in that situation. That's something I defend my brother. Now, after the words, we make it out of there, Lord allow. I'm gonna ask him, what was that about? What's going on? I'm having a counsel with that brother, basically. I'm gotta find out what happened there and why. But in the middle of the action, we gotta get in there. You know what I'm saying? You defend your brother. All right. If your brother in the school, he gets in the situation, you get in there. All right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You defend him like you would yourself. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I pass the class on to precinct officer Yarma.
Get that brother a hand, man. We're gonna go back over those scenarios though. All right, just so that you know, those are the type of questions you should be asking, because that's real life. What we talk about in the Bible, with the scriptures and everything, all of that is exactly what you need to know, and it's good to know, right? It's vital to your life that you know the mysteries that Christ had given to the disciples, which is who we are today, right? But you have to know real life. You got to know what do you do in real life. In the club, John 3:16 ain't gonna save you. You understand? John 3:16 ain't gonna save you from police knocking at your door, trying to murder you and your whole family. Right? What does save you from that? What does save you from being in the club and getting stabbed up or shot up, losing your life, breaking a leg?
I ain't gonna cut you.
No, you good?
I was gonna say number one first. Oh, sorry, it's lucky. I would say number one, like, don't put yourself in the predicament or the vicinity, like, to get yourself in that type of situation. Number one. Number two, I will also. What was the last part you asked again?
The question is what does save you? John 3:16 ain't gonna save you in that time.
Like keeping discipline, like knowing your laws, like knowing your order, you know, and
Anybody else want to take a shot? Not saying you're wrong, but I want to get everybody's answer.
So like, yeah, I would say it's like just like how young man Justin said, you know, knowing your laws, statutes, commandments, you know, it protects you for certain situations. And then just natural awareness amidst awareness of your surroundings, like for real.
Okay. Brother said knowing the law, statutes, commandments, knowing your surroundings. Brother said to not to put yourself in that situation, which of course is wisdom, right? Wisdom can save you from being put in certain situations. Give me 1 second. But sometimes even wisdom isn't enough. Sometimes even wisdom isn't the thing that saves you, because you could be wise as all hell. Let me ask you a question. Let me see. Who's an example? What was that sister's name who was eating ice cream in her apartment?
No, it was a brother.
It was a brother?
Botham Jean.
Botham Jean. Was Botham Jean an idiot?
Lie.
Was Botham Jean wise?
Slack said I have to know more about the situation. I mean, I just know that.
But we know the situation, right? Botham Jean was a brother who was eating ice cream in his apartment, and while he was eating ice cream, some cop was it a white woman, Thabawan? It was a white woman. Yeah. 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 It was a white female officer, right? Botham Jean is eating ice cream in his apartment. A white female officer comes, rushes into his apartment. She does not have a warrant for Botham Jean. Botham Jean is not, Shalom says, Botham Jean is not wanted for arrest by the police. Botham Jean has not committed a crime. But yet a white female officer walks into Botham Jean's apartment and shoots him dead. Botham Jean, if I'm not mistaken, is not alive anymore. Was Botham Jean wise? You know why you tripped up on it? Oh, go ahead.
We don't know. Sir.
No, you good. As long as you raise your hand, it builds that discipline that we all need. I'm too wild right now. I got some of that. So I'm telling you, give it up for these two brothers, man. They done turned it up a notch, man. Go ahead, clap it up for them, man. These brothers, we done came a long way. I remember I was with Thabawan. I'm waiting for Thabawan to get in here, man. I remember we was drinking that Bacardi Gold. We went from the Bacardi Gold to the Bacardi Black. And who could tell me, who could guess why we went to the Bacardi Black?
It was cheaper, sir.
Hell no. Nah. We was troopers. We in all black. We like, God damn, we got to get a Bacardi Black. From there, we went to what? Jose Cuervo to what? Jack Daniels. Man, we had some runs, man. Henny a little bit. That's when brothers had jobs and whatnot. Now we all poor. We all poor, man. You understand? But yeah, these brothers done turned it up a notch up in here. But go ahead. Who had the hand raised? Sadat. Oh no, you was asked for that. Somebody else had the hand raised?
No, I was like I said, I was just saying there's no way we could have known he was wise or not.
The reason why you so tripped up on that question is because his wisdom has none effect in this situation, which is why I'm trying to get you to understand this question or to be able to answer this question better yet. Because again, John 3:16 doesn't say Botham Jean. That's right. Knowing the scriptures, knowing how to say Shalom, Yahweh Shemi, how Barakatah doesn't save Botham Jean. You understand? It doesn't save you in the club. It does not. It's a good thing to know. You can speak to your brothers. You can speak the language of angels, but it doesn't save you from these things that are in real life that's happening right now. Spiritually, it can save you because the Lord will be on your side, right? And he could, of course, the Lord could protect you from anything. You understand? The Lord could protect Botham. The Lord could have made that gun explode in that white woman's hand, and her head would have got blown off. And Botham Jean would have been sitting there with the ice cream in his hand, like, what the hell is this that just happened? The Lord can absolutely do that. Understand? But before we get there, what is it that will save you? In that club.
It's like a practical knowledge, sir.
Well, the answer is practical.
Brotherhood, sir.
Give him a hand. Your brothers are the ones that'll save you. Precept. Precept. I need this precept. Somebody gotta get it. We got a few officers in here, young men coming in, but I know y'all hungry for the truth. I know you got this precept. All the knowledge in the world is nothing if you don't have what the brother just said. And I damn near just gave you the precept. I'll give y'all a second to try it. If you don't get it, I'll get it for you. Officers, you want to give them a second? Yeah, give them a second.
Salaki, sir.
Uh-huh.
I would say 1 Peter 2:17.
I don't think you can read. Just go. If you pull it, read what you got. It may be close, but I just want to see what you was thinking. Go ahead.
1 Peter 2:17 reads,
Mm-hmm.
honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king.
That's not the one I want. There is a certain thing called a perfect precept. Your precepts may not be wrong, but there's a certain, remember, our job in here is to win souls. That's what all of you are learning to do. You're learning to become priests so that you can win the souls of the people who are still in the world. So you have to know how to cut. You have to know how to give the perfect precept. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Come on.
1 John 4:20.
What you got?
If a man say I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen, how can he love God?
Now that is a precept, right? That speaks on brotherhood. But remember, we talking about reality and what reality and specifically what in reality protects you from being jumped in the club, from using your life in the club, from your water bill being turned off. I mean, not Salaki, from your water being turned off because you can't pay your water bill, from your electricity being cut off because you can't pay your electricity. You understand? Like if your electricity is cut off, John 3:16 ain't gonna help your lights come on. It's not. Knowing how to say Barakatai how Waya Shah ain't gonna help your lights come on. But there is something, and the brother said it's brotherhood, right? Who got it? You got it? Who had it? Who had it? Young man had it? What? Well, the brother answered the question. The question is what will save you? You understand? Besides wisdom, besides knowledge, besides breaking down these scriptures, besides knowing languages, what will save you? The brother said brotherhood, but I need the precept. I want the precept that says just that.
Zephaniah 2:1.
That says gather together. That's talking about blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians coming together as a nation of people again, right? I'm gonna give it to Sadar. I know you know it. My Shah.
Book of John, chapter 15, verse 13.
What you got?
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends.
Nope. That's not it. I'm gonna have to give it to y'all. If not Sadak, I'm gonna give it to Abuwan. If not, I'm gonna give it to y'all. Sadak, you got it? Abuwan, you got it? That sounds about right. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Someone get it for him. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, start at verse 1, and read it loud. Read it like you're at camp. You understand? This is what saves you. You got it? Somebody pass on the microphone. And y'all brothers, y'all work with each other. You understand? It's four young brothers coming into the school. That's a beautiful sight in the eyes of the Lord. Y'all lean on each other, work on it with each other. You understand? And y'all practice with each other. You understand? Like y'all, share the microphone. Y'all all read, so on and so forth. Go ahead, read what you got.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with tongues of men and of angels.
So hold on now. Though I speak with the tongues of men and with angels. Meaning what? What does that mean? Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels. Who is this speaking here?
You said who is speaking?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Christ, the Most High?
Mm-mm. That's not who's writing this. Am I sure?
Apostle Paul, sir.
Right? Paul is speaking here in Corinthians. All right. And of course, we know that Paul followed Christ. So to say that these are Christ's words, not too far off, because Christ taught Paul, and Paul is teaching us what Christ taught. You understand? So now, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, what does that mean? What does it mean to speak with the tongues of men and angels?
A voice of which all can understand? No.
It's a little bit more simpler than that. What is it? What is tongues of men?
It's like their language.
Languages, right? Spanish, or Espanol, English, Latin, Greek. All of these are tongues of languages, right?
Okay.
What is the tongue of angels?
I would say Hebrew.
More specifically,
Lashon Kodash.
the Lashon Kodash is the tongue of angels, right? This the holy. It's the eldest. If I'm not mistaken, Tabawan is of course the Lashon Kodash master in the room. If I'm not mistaken, this is the oldest language known to man. Of course, because it's the angels, the language of the angels, right? Which is why if you read certain books in the Bible, like Second Maccabees, with the woman, her 7 sons, they made an emphasis to say that she spoke in her own language. You understand? Because this language belongs to us. All right. So now, even though you could say Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah, or Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah, or Natap, or whatever,
Okay.
though you could speak the language of tongues and with angels, keep going.
And I have not charity.
And I have not charity. I mean, I can speak these different languages, and I know the Lashon Kodash, but I have not charity. What is charity?
Like giving back.
Mm-mm.
Is that what it is?
That's what Christians teach you what charity is. Christians teach you that charity is what you see at charitable events. They teach you that charity is giving money to the poor, or holding bake sales, or holding all kinds of giveaways and food drives and things like that. When it's not charity, and it's not even charity in the way that they. How many of y'all heard of what's that quarterback that just stole all that money? What's his name? Brett Favre. Who he just stole money from?
It's charity.
A charity. Oh, this brother came in here looking solid. I was like, yo, who the hell is this? Done flew in here from Philadelphia. Oh, Cap McCall done sent us some soldiers, man. This brother came in here looking like a soldier. So I got one. You want to take over the play? Come. This brother came in here looking like he's straight out of Captain McCall's tutelage and Hebrew Academy, man. Good night. But of course, he stole money from the charity. Even downtown, we're in Raleigh, right? Where we have camp at. If you go to the camp spot in Raleigh, they have the little food drives every Saturday where we go out there and they passing out food or not. That is about to end in 2 weeks. Who could take a guess why the food drive is about to end in 2 weeks?
Food shortage.
Not a food shortage. Somebody got in trouble for doing something.
Oh, slacking. Money stolen.
They were stealing the money. The people was getting money and they was handing out breadcrumbs, but they was taking a lump sum of the money for themselves. And now they shutting it down and redoing investigations and all this nonsense, right? So now the people of Raleigh have to starve because they don't have what? Because in this, they don't have what? What does Raleigh not have for those people that live under bridges? They don't have brotherhood. They don't have charity. You understand? Their charity is fake because their charity is nothing more than an event. It's nothing more than just than this show. It's shown like what Christians believe that. I hate this. Salakia. Christians believe that what they do outwardly is what makes them a child of God. They believe that because they wear a cross on their neck and because they go to a bake sale or because they hold a food drive or because they donate 20 cents a day to some starving African, that is what makes them what makes them a child of God. But what really makes you a child of God is what you do inwardly. It's the things that you never, it's what people don't see. You know what people don't see? when you don't steal the money from the people in Raleigh. That's what people would never see, and they would never talk about it. You holding an event and you don't steal the money from the men and women who are poor in Raleigh, no one would ever see that. But they don't have what they believe is what people see is what makes them a child of God, which is why they'll have the food drive, they'll have the bake sale, they'll pass out the bread or pass out the turkeys during Thanksgiving, but really they're stealing money from the poor. But really, they don't give a damn about the people that they're passing out food to. It's just a front so that everyone else would think that they're what? That they are a child of God, that they actually love black people, when in actuality, they don't. They don't give a damn about black people. All they want to do is to continue getting rich. And how do they get rich? Well, they have to give you something. They have to give you a little gift here, a little turkey here, a little cranberry sauce here, little bags of mac and cheese here. Otherwise, what? You won't believe them to be a child of God. You won't believe them to be a man of God. And so you wouldn't give them their money no more. And it's a front. They don't have brotherhood. They have events that they hold to keep their seat so that you won't turn to the true brothers and to the true men of the Lord that's in the earth right now in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead. What you got?
Scripture that backs that up.
There's a lot of scriptures that back that up.
Something called, correct me, I'm paraphrasing it. No, at the beginning of it is man sees the outer appearance or something like
but
that.
They judge outwardly, but they do not judge inwardly.
That's what I'm
You understand? And that's a perfect precept. You understand? Because we look at what people look like, but we don't look at what they do. You understand? That's why pastors always got to look what? They always have to look fly. They always got to look clean, because you associate being fly and clean with being the next thing to God, with being the next thing to famous and rich, or whatever the case may be, whatever stupid thing you compare that to. But that's what we do, and that's why they do it. You understand? But charity is brotherhood. It's not stealing money from your brother. It is defending your brother in the club, and it's making sure that your brother has water. It's making sure that your brother has heat, making sure that his children are okay, making sure no one is harming your family in any way. Keep reading.
And I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And although I have the sorry about Slakia, verse 2. And although I have the gift of prophecy.
So even though I can break down these scriptures and I could prophesy unto you what would happen thousands of years ago, thousands of years ahead of my time, even though I could tell you what happened thousands of years ago, you understand? Tell you about how Moses departed the Red Sea, and how Moses didn't depart the Red Sea by just sticking a staff in the water and just splitting up, but by telling you how winds came from the east and started to pierce the sea until it divided so that they could walk through. Even though I can do these things because I have the mysteries. Keep going.
And understand all mysteries and of knowledge.
I have the knowledge of these records, the knowledge of how to save our people. Keep going.
And though I have all faith.
And though I have all the faith, I truly believe that one day that Christ is going to come back and save our people. Keep going.
So that I could remove mountains. And have not charity.
If I have not charity, if I have not brotherhood, if I don't have what the whole UPK hinges on, you understand? Christ said this, that the whole law hinges on these two: to love the Lord with all thy heart and to love thy brother as thyself. If you do not have brotherhood, keep going.
I am nothing.
I am what?
I am nothing.
I am nothing.
That's right.
You are nothing without brotherhood, which is why it's important to never be what? To never be an individualite. You can never be an individualite or some brother who is alone inside of their room, smoking weed, getting high, trying to break down scriptures and watching Dapawan on Friday, learning how to say Barakatai Hawaiian Hawashah, and then going to the club and thinking that you're somebody. Because you are what? Read it again.
Nothing.
You're what?
Nothing.
You go to the club thinking because you could break down John 3:16 the correct way because you heard it from General Hyman, and now you trying to woo some woman over at the club because you know a little bit of Hebrew. What are you?
Nothing.
You're nothing. You're nothing. You understand? You are absolutely nothing without the men and women that are sitting in this room right here. You know why? Because with all of the brain power you have, with all of the Googling you've done, the weed that you smoke, the breakdowns you done stole, with everything that you think you have in your little brain, when you leave outside of these walls to the real men who control this earth, you're nothing but a nigga. And they'll murder you in a second. They'll kill you in a second. You understand? With all of the devices that America has set up to trap you, all of the imprisonment tactics that they have set up in this world, that you are raised up by Christians who don't have charity, which is why you don't know how to be taught to just pay your taxes. You don't know that. You think that it's better to avoid paying your taxes. You think that it's better to avoid wearing your seatbelt or to avoid getting your license reinstated. You think it's better because you're raised by men who don't love you. When Commander General Yohana would never tell you to do that. Commander General Yohana would tell you to follow the law of the land. He would tell you to do everything you have to do so that they don't have a reason to come and murder you. Why? Because Commander General Yohana has brotherhood, and he's also going to be the one to bury you. He would also be the one who burdens your death inside of this school, along with Captain Isupk, for any other brother that's in North Carolina or under any of his zones. You understand? That's real brotherhood, and without it, we are nothing, which is why we have to keep each other. Which is why it's so important that you brothers are in this class and you're in all black and you're learning these things, but you're learning it together. You understand? Because if you alone, good night, what the hell are you going to do? How many of y'all ever seen the movie Red Dawn? Y'all seen it, right? If you've seen Red Dawn is about a movie with, I think one day it starts off at like a football game, right? Regular day. And it's so beautiful. Red Dawn is about Edomites, right? But it's so beautiful how they did it because it's so perfect. It's so perfect, and it shows you how much brotherhood is very important, because it starts off at some high school with some star athletes playing on a football game on Friday night. Then the next day, guess what's happening? The Koreans are flying in. Y'all, you go outside your door, and Koreans are floating down with AK-47s and AR-15s, and they're about to shoot you and everyone you know, all of your family members. And that day, does learning how to break down John 3:16 matter? No. But the brother that you can call does. The evacuation plan that Commander General Yohana has set up for each zone in the ISUPK across the whole world, that matters that day. The resources that we have gathered, the supplies that we have, the Hebrew Academy that you've been raised up in, that covering that day is going to matter. And the people around you is going to be like that woman who was grabbing for Christ. They're going to be trying to get to you like, where them black army niggas at? Where them niggas who was marching in the street at? We got to get with them in that day, because then you'll see exactly how brotherhood matters, how much it matters. Right. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor.
Hold on now. What we just talk about? Your Christian pastor believes that what? That he gives his goods to the poor and have food drives, and he gives out turkeys for Thanksgiving. Now he's done something. Keep going.
And though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity,
and have not brotherhood, keep going,
it profiteth me nothing.
Meaning nothing that you do is going, nothing that you do outside of the brotherhood, outside of being one with the Most High in Christ in this one body, it'll profit you nothing. It doesn't matter how many camps you go to in some fake Israelite group. It doesn't matter if you want to be in AOC or GOCC or GMC or IUIC or what other alphabet group you could come up with. It doesn't matter. You think you're doing something, but you're doing absolutely nothing, because you are going against One West, which they all give reverence to. They all love to talk about One West and how One West was this and how One West was that, but yet One West is right here. And they have left you, and we're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. This is going right into my topic. You understand? Keep going.
It profiteth me nothing, right? So, verse 4. Charity suffereth long.
Charity suffereth long.
And it is kind.
And it is kind. What does it mean that charity suffereth long?
Salakia is kind. It ain't. And is kind, not it is. Salakia.
But what does it mean? Charity suffereth long. Sis, if you want to answer too, you can. Come on, get up in here. I know you know it. What you got? Anybody want to take a shot at it?
Meaning.
Do we got water in the back? Salakia. We could anybody need water? Just go ahead and let the guard know, or let Officer Sadak know. We'll get it on. We got a question online. No sweat. No sweat. Let me. We got the question. Let me see if the brothers can answer this first. We're gonna finish this precept out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning that without it, it's I don't know how to really explain.
All right, no sweat. Look, what is charity? No, keep the mic. Keep the mic. We're gonna work it through. What is charity? Remember what we just said. Charity is brotherhood, right? And what does it mean to suffer something? To endure it, right? That's perfect. To allow it. If I suffer you to punch me in my face, that means I allow it without retaliating, right? So brotherhood endures long. It endures for a long time. What does that mean? There's no sweat.
You said, what was the question?
Brotherhood endures for a long time. What does that mean?
Like it goes through, like it's for a season, like a season of time.
Not a season, because a season ends. This how let the young man take a shot.
The effect of it goes a long way.
The effect would go a long way, but specifically the brotherhood. Remember, but think about the world that you come from. Think about the people that you've known. Think about the boys that you said that they were your day ones, right? And think about how many of them do you still talk to? How many of them do you still know? It may be what, 1, 2, maybe 3 if you really got some good friends that you've known since middle school, high school. But think about them. Did their brotherhood suffer long? No. Some of them will rob you today. Some of them will sleep with your woman today. Some of them will lie to you. Some of them will steal from you. They would hurt you. They would talk about you behind your back because their brotherhood does not suffereth long, but ours does. Meaning what?
It's like it endures.
It endures. It never ends. The way that we forgive each other, the way that we treat each other, the way that we keep our rank and our order and our structure in this school, the way we deal with disputes, the way we go to counsel, the way we handle each other inside of this school never ends. You understand? Meaning, just because a brother may come in here, right, and he may have a problem with another brother, and this brother may be all kinds of schizophrenic, all kinds of demons, and all kinds of bipolar, all kinds of mental disorders, so on and so forth. And because of the scriptures, you do what? When he wrongs you the first time, what do? Because of the scriptures, you suffer it. You allow it. Why? Because Christ says so, right? Christ said to suffer thy brother to offend you, right? You go to counsel, the counsel says the brother was wrong, you say no sweat, and then you move forward. And then let's say he does it again. And he does it again, and he does it again. Now, does that give you the right now to say, you know what? Nah, he don't need to be in here, or I ain't gonna be in that school no more. Right? What does it do? Or for a woman who has a husband, who she swears up and down is terrible. This is a terrible person. He done beat on me. He done lied to me. I know he out there sleeping with whores. I know it. I went through his phone. I seen the naked girl dancing in his phone. And y'all won't kick him out the school. You keep fining him $300. And then he asked me to pay for it. And he's still in the school. Well, then if he gonna be in the school, I ain't gonna be in the school. Or better yet, he done got that other woman. He got another wife. And if she gonna be at the Passover, I'm not gonna be there. If she gonna be at the feast, I'm not gonna be at the feast. Is she going to class? Yeah, she gonna be there. Well, I'm not gonna go to class. Why? Because her brotherhood doesn't suffereth long. You know how long her brotherhood lasts? As long as she's comfortable. As long as it makes sense for her. As long as she can be comfortable and she doesn't have to suffer anything, that's how long she'll suffer it. But the second you actually have to suffer something, the second you actually have to allow something that you honestly hate, that you cannot stand, you can't stand to look at a brother who was inside the classroom because you know something he did, because he did something and you know he did it and he's disgusting and he should just be with some other group. Why he got to be in here with me when I ain't never did anything? The second you think like that is the second that your brotherhood ain't suffering along. And there's one thing that you should remember. that you was a sinner just like him before you found this.
That's right.
You were just like him. And the same way you got a chance after you should have died when you smoked weed, after you should have got lung cancer when you put that cigarette in your mouth, when you should have got arrested for life, when you murdered that brother from gang banging and drug violence, and you should have died from drug addiction. Now this brother has another chance to come and save his life the same way you had one. You understand? Because we all should be dead. There's one man who died for no reason, and that's our king. It's Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew. You understand? But the rest of us, we have a debt that has to be paid. And so, yeah, you may sit in that classroom and you gonna hate that woman that's sitting beside you because she is having sex with your man. And you know she's having sex with him. And you know that he loves it. But you're gonna have to endure it. You're gonna have to suffer it because you have charity and you are actually a child of God, unlike your Christian pastor. You understand? Go ahead.
Say there's a scripture that talks about when you were talking about like enduring. Like, what's the scripture when you say pretty much like what's it called? I think it's in the book of Luke. It's
who offend you 77 times.
It's that one too, but there's another one. It's called "Be ye merciful, just as your Father was merciful." When you was talking about like you don't like get mad at somebody just because you know you was out in the world as well,
right?
So, but you know Christ forgave us. You know He died for us.
Right, He died for us.
Yeah, it's in the book of Luke. I can't remember like the exact scripture, but I know it's in the book of Luke. Be ye merciful, just as your Father was merciful.
Right, no sweat. You understand? You go to that one, or you go to where Paul asked Christ, "How many times shall I forget my brother who has had offended me?" And Christ said, and Paul said, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm saying something wrong. But Christ said, no, Paul asked it to be 7 times that I allow my brother to offend against me, and Christ said, not 7. But 70 times 7, meaning forever. You understand? You allow these things to happen because you have a debt that you cannot pay. You understand? Go ahead.
What if like a person like has like in the past, I'm gonna use myself for example before I came into the truth. Like I was one of those people, and I still kind of battle with this. I'm glad you bring this up because I was just dwelling on this earlier when I was on my way to class. Like I had a problem with like trust. Like, how do I know that I can trust? You know, when I come into, you know, the school versus like any other religion. Say, for example, you came out of Christianity or Islam or just in general, family, friends, relationships, you've been through a lot of trust and betrayal like Judas and Jesus. That was a prime example, Peter. So like, how do I know that when I come into this, that the trust factor will be there? How do I know? You know, as a young brother coming in, still learning more, how do I know?
I'm going to tell you, just like General Muhammad has told many and hundreds of people who has asked that same question before you. No one in here is asking you to trust us. No one. I did not sit up here and ask you to trust me when I tell you that the sky is pink. I didn't ask you to trust me when I tell you that if you smoke weed and you sell drugs, you're going to die, get lung cancer, or end up in prison.
That's right.
I'm not asking you to trust me. You don't have to trust anything I say. What you can do is either do it or don't. That's what you can do. You can either not smoke weed because it's a sin and I'm telling you it, or you can go smoke weed. That's the only options you have. You can go do it, or you can don't do it. I could tell you that you'll get AIDS and HIV and you'll die from getting AIDS and HIV for being a homosexual. You do not have to trust me. All you have to do is either go be gay or don't be gay, and then we can move along. Right. But this isn't about trust. You understand? There are many things that Christ said to the disciples that the disciples did not understand half the things Christ was talking about. You understand? But guess what? When they went out, and years went on, and they seen how brothers died from using drugs, and they seen how brothers died from worshiping other gods, and they seen the condition of the people who was just like them because they disobeyed Christ. They knew what then? That he was right.
That's right.
They didn't have to trust Christ. All they had to do was obey him. Just do what you say. You understand? Does your son have to trust you, or does he have to do what you say to do? No, he has to do what you say to do. You understand? Your son don't have to. Son, do not put that blindfold on your eyes and run across the freeway. Does he have to? But Dad, how can I trust you? How can I trust that you have my life in your hand? Run across the freeway then. One way or another, you'll know that I was right and the world was wrong. That's right. One way or another, you'll know that I was correct and your thoughts were wrong because you're dead. because you're paralyzed in a wheelchair because you got hit by some truck because you didn't listen to what I told you to listen to. You understand? And that's how Christ rules. This place teaches us that democracy is the way that we're supposed to live. That's not true. This Bible, in the way that Israelites have always lived, is a monarchy. There's a king and there's a law and there's an enforcer of that law. Done. Now you can either follow it or not. But when you're on that deathbed because you have AIDS, because you was blowing rod for cigarette butts, you'll know then. And you'll be praying to the Lord to get a second chance, like every Christian does. Every Christian has a time of trouble, and they say, what? Please, Lord, if you get me out of this one, I won't do this again. I guess they should have just trusted us.
Right.
You understand? Or just do what we say do. You understand? No sweat. That's a great question, though. Great question. Go back to the scripture unless somebody else had anything else. Get ready to give me that question that's online.
Come on, counsel.
Everybody, if anybody needs anything, it's food in the back. Y'all get down. Tabawan, you'll help them out with that. Baba Kusadawan, if you could.
We was on the 4th verse.
Uh-huh.
Okay, feed the poor. Where was I? Oh yeah, and is kind.
Mm-hmm.
Charity envieth not. Charity if envieth not.
Uh-huh.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Hold on, Salagi, read that one more time.
This is the 4th verse.
Uh-huh.
Charity suffereth long and is kind.
Uh-huh.
Charity envieth not.
Mm-hmm.
Charity vaunteth not itself.
Uh-huh.
Is not puffed up.
And it's all brotherhood, right? Meaning you don't brag or boast because of the things that you do for someone else. You understand? Tabawan doesn't send me $200 because I'm $200 short on my car payment and come in here and teach class and say, I just want to let everyone know that I done sent Officer Yarmak $200 because his broke ass didn't have no money for his car payment. So everyone should look up to me now because I had some money. You understand? You don't do that. You don't puff yourself up like the Christians do. The Christians get out there and they puff themselves up for the things that they don't do. They lie about the things that they do. They tell you that they fed 2 million people, but really they stole from 6 million. Right. Really, they stole from everybody and let the crumbs fall off to the table to the people who they think nothing of, to the people that they do not pray for, to the people that they do not suffer for. You understand? Just like what's that pastor in Canarsie? Ain't the same pastor? More Whitehead. This brother, his charity does not suffer long. His charity is good when he's asking people to buy him a watch, or when he's asking people to give him money so that he have a jet. But as soon as that sister step out of line, his hand is gripping her neck like General Muhammad was grabbing that chicken. You understand? Kicking, of course, if you ain't seen it, you ain't got it. But his charity doesn't suffer long, man. Ours has to. That's the only way we survive. The only way we survive is this, and this is for the relationships that you have with your brothers, right? And also relationships that you may have with your husband or with your wife. And this is love. And of course, we know in the Bible that love is an action. And love is this, not the romantic butterfly feeling that you get in your stomach that the world teaches you it is. That's fake. Right. But love is this. Love is being able to absolutely hate the man sitting next to you, but not ever leave him. Right. To actually hate the woman that you like, that you lay in bed with, and not ever leave her. To never leave her to be alone. To never leave her to be in the streets and to now have to fight with herself to make the decision of being a whore or staying a righteous sister. Real love is saying, you know what? I hate that goddamn dragon. But you know what? That's mine. That's right. It's my goddamn dragon. And I'm going to stay with her for the rest of my life. And with that, then you'll build nations. You'll build kingdoms that our oppressor can't touch. Because it won't matter what kind of devices they put in you. They'll send the Ku Klux Klan at you to offer you money. They'll send the Aryan Nation or the Nazis to come and offer you money and say, if you work with us, we'll put you here, or we'll give you this position, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. Because you know that you'll never leave your brother, our nation would never crumble. But because of the leaders that we've had, our Christian leaders, our religious leaders, because of their lack of brotherhood and their lack of suffering for brotherhood for all people, that's why we've always fallen victim to our oppressor. Because somewhere down the line, someone's going to steal money from the funds that's supposed to feed the poor.
Right.
Someone is going to steal money for the funds that's supposed to go out to Puerto Rico to help them from the hurricane and the tragedies that they're going through right now. Someone is going to steal money from all of that's why people now today. What's the one that from Hurricane Katrina? The what?
I think FEMA.
FEMA. If that's correct, that's why now people right now don't want to send money to FEMA. You say you want to up the price to a whole $1 to send the chains over to FEMA. You like hell no. Why? Because you found out what them niggas they stole all that money. They ain't helped them people in Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
You understand? So many people died because of the lack of effort that America put to just go in and get them, man. You talking about one area that had a tragedy. The rest of America should have flooded Katrina. Everywhere should have flooded. Every airport, every military base should have flooded Katrina to go and get those people out. But of course, they don't give a damn about the poor, which is all who was left. You know why? Because Bill Gates, if he was in that town, he could have left. He got money. Right. You understand? Them NBA, how many NBA players in that? What was it? New Orleans? Or was it where was the Hurricane Katrina? It's like New Orleans. How many NBA players got flooded in the Hurricane Katrina? None. How many of the Saints got flooded? None. You understand? How many politicians got caught in Hurricane Katrina and flooded and died? None. You understand? But you know who did die? You.
Right.
You died. Which goes to show you that they don't give a damn about you, which is why we have to give a damn about each other.
Damn
you
right.
Understand? Just like Captain Yatazak and how he went out there to Acuna, and he raised up between him and the little bit of brothers that they have out there in Houston, Texas, and they raised up over $10,000 and had a convoy of I think about 11 cars deep with trucks and cars, and they traveled down to the border to where them Haitians refugees were being left to die, and they crossed over the border and went through level 4 security zones. Level 4 security zones means if someone breaks into your car, there ain't no 911. You can't call the police. If someone is raping your wife in this zone, you on your own. You can't call the police. They can take you out your car, chop your head off, do whatever they want to do because they run that area and whatever they see goes. And Captain Yatazak, because of his charity, because of his brotherhood to people who aren't even in the truth, to people who aren't in his congregation, not to the men who's paying tithes to Commander General Yohana, not to the men who's going to camp and defending him, not to the men that's helping him, making sure that he gets his bills paid, making sure that he has protection, making sure that the shamar for that school is intact. Not for them, but for the brothers who ain't done nothing for the UPK. Captain Yatazak and them brothers went out there and risked their life so that they can eat, so that they can have water, so that they can have a good life, if only just for a second, right. If only for a moment. Well, America don't give a damn about the Haitians, man. Which is why the ISUPK is the only place where charity suffereth long.
That's right.
This is the only place you can go. Your fake Israelite group did not go to them Haitians. They did not go. You know why? Because in IUIC, you can't be a part of them unless you have a job. You can't join IUIC unless you have a job. They don't have brotherhood, man. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay, yeah, I'm on the 5th verse. Doth not behave itself unseemingly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked. Think of no evil.
These are just the characteristics of your brotherhood and how you should behave yourself and with your brother. All right, drop that. Did somebody have a question in the room, or was it a question online first?
You got a question online.
What was online?
Come on, sir. Sister asks, is there a sin you cannot be forgiven for?
No. There is not a sin on earth that you cannot be forgiven for, because the Lord is in control of all that. You understand? The scriptures say, hold on 1 second. You got some?
Yeah, I had a question. You was also talking about counsel earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How is counsel like in the ISUPK versus like counsel like out in the world? Like, you know how you go to therapy, you go to places like that, or marriage counseling. How is the counseling different in here versus that?
I'll answer that question after I answer this one. Someone give me the scripture where it says, our thoughts are not his thoughts, And also, Thabo, there's one more I'm looking for. I might need your help. The Lord is in control of all of that. My brain is running away from me right now. Meaning the Lord, like okay, we usually pull this precepts and people say, well, is there people that's going to be saved that's not in the truth? Yes, of course, because the Lord will have mercy on whom he have mercy on. You understand? So I need that one as well.
Salakia, sir. Isaiah 55 and 8. I got you.
Go ahead. What's that? Romans 9 and 18. Give me what you got, young man.
This is the book of Isaiah 55, verse 8. It reads, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts."
Meaning the way that the Lord thinks, we can't even begin to consider. I don't, it's not something that's even made for us to consider. We don't have to try to break down why this or why the Lord that, because his thoughts are not our thoughts. It's not possible. Keep going.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Neither the way that we do things is the way that the Lord does things. Keep going.
Save the Lord.
And that's it. Now give me Romans 9 and 18. I'm answering the sister's question online, and after I answer it, then I'm gonna answer the question again.
Salakia, sir. Got it.
Go ahead. What you got?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 18. And it reads, "Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy."
Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy. The Lord want to have mercy on you, and you done been the biggest drug dealer that the world has ever seen, then that's up to the Lord. You understand? If he want to have mercy on you and not give you AIDS and die, even though you're being a homosexual, then that's on him. The Lord want to have mercy on you because you was committing adultery. You understand? Then that's on the Lord. We, of course, all know the story of when Christ caught the woman in adultery, right? The Lord, Christ had mercy on her and gave her the chance to do what? What did she get the chance to do? Even though, let me ask you this first. Would the Sadducees have been wrong for stoning that woman to death when she was caught committing adultery? Would they have been wrong?
Sir.
No, they wouldn't have been wrong according to the law. But Christ gave her a chance. Now, what was the chance that Christ gave her?
Salakia, sir. To follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
To never do it again. You understand? Meaning you walking on thin ice if you believe that you're going to continuously sell drugs, and because you made it out the first day, that you're going to make it out the next day. You understand? Of course, in here, me and my brothers, we make our election sure. We make sure that we ain't falling on mercy or on grace. Matter of fact, give me where grace runs out. Because of course we're in a grace period. Hold on. Somebody had a hand raised in the back.
Salakia, sir.
I think it was some Sadat. And I'll come back to you.
Salakia, sir, this is on topic and kind of off. But like even when we at camp and Esau comes and kisses our boot, that's up to the Most High to grant that, Edomite, mercy if he chooses to.
Right. You understand? That's why we tell them, you may get mercy when the Lord come back. Because Christ may see you, he may be like, nah, nigga, you was King Herod back in the day. Yeah, you going under. That's right. I don't give a damn how many boots you kiss. You was the Roman that stuck that pierced my rib. Here, you going all the way under. Kiss all the boots you want to. We don't know. Of course, Maya Shah, you got something?
Oh, no, I got the scripture you wanted.
Go ahead.
Come. It's the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 15. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace?
Now, just because you hear right now that, you could break the law, Christ may have mercy on you. You may get away with selling drugs tomorrow. You may get away with it. You may get away with committing adultery tomorrow or today. You understand? But does that mean that now today, since you've gotten away with it, that you continue to do it? Keep reading.
God forbid.
God forbid. You understand? You did what you did, and you repent for what you've done, and you change your life and never do it again.
That's right.
Because the next time, go to Romans chapter what is it? I think it's Romans chapter 8. Go to Romans 8. Hold on, let me find it. 1 second. Go to Hebrews chapter 10, Salak, in verse 26. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. Because of course you believe that because you have grace, that you can go out and do whatever you want to do, and that you may get saved, or you may have a chance. So you don't have to be an ISUPK, and you may get saved. Go ahead. Come on with it.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26, and it reads, For if we sin willfully.
So if you sin willfully, what does it mean to willfully sin?
Sin with knowing. So like I said, basically sinning and you know it's a sin.
You know that you're sinning. You know that what you're doing is wrong. If that woman who was caught in adultery, after being almost stoned to death, after that, she knows that committing adultery is a sin. And she should know that she should never do it again. But if that woman goes and commits adultery again, keep going.
After that, we have received the knowledge of the truth.
So she received the knowledge of the truth. Keep going.
There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
Christ gone. Them Sadducees and Pharisees gonna have their way with you. You understand? You're gonna get stoned to death, and Christ ain't gonna be there to save you this time. You understand? Which is why you have to understand that once you learn these laws, statutes, commandments, you walking on thin ice. Like the scriptures say, your cup runneth over, and when your cup filleth over and it pours out, that's it. You done. You understand? You in a deathbed somewhere crying to your family because you dying from AIDS and HIV. When you on the low was a raging homosexual. And you heard them crazy Israelites on the corner telling you that you're going to die from HIV if you're gay. But of course you didn't listen to them. You threw the finger up and tried to spit at the camp. And of course you kept walking. But now you following Eazy-E. Good night. Drop that. Where else we at? Any other questions? Sis, I hope that answered your question online. Somebody else had a question in here, right? To that. And you had a question too, right? All right.
Salakia, sir, we're going along with what you said. I can't remember the exact scripture, but the scripture where it says, although he falls 7 times.
Oh, you're talking about Paul.
Sir.
Yeah, there's a Paul when Paul was asking, hey, Tabawan, can you see me one more time? But when Paul was asking Christ, how many times shall I let my brother, shall I allow him to have a against me? Shall it be 7 times? But Christ answered him and said, not 7 times, but 7 times, 70 times, meaning forever. You allow this because, of course, brotherhood endureth forever, right? Which is what Christ taught the wilder brother. Question, young man, what would you have? What was your question?
I had 2. My first one was, I'm gonna get to the other one I had before, but my first one currently is the one where it talks about with his stripes I'm healed. Isn't it like a certain amount of numbers? Isn't it like 1,000 stripes or something like that? I think I heard like with his stripes I'm healed. With the Bible, like what? Explain to me that concept. What does that mean specifically?
What is this your first question, or are you wanting to change the first question you asked me? You asked me something about counsel.
First question, because I know people say, if you're with the stripes I'm healed. So that's the first one.
I thought you had asked me something about counsel.
Oh, counsel. Sorry about that.
No, you too.
How is counsel? What's the difference between counsel and ISUPK versus counsel like in the world, like therapy, marriage counseling? Like, what is the difference between the two? Like, how does it differ?
The difference between the counsel and the ISUPK and the counsel that comes from the world is that the counsel that comes from the ISUPK comes from the Lord. That's right. This is the counsel directly from the Most High to you. It's the closest thing that the Lord could tell you what to do in your situation that you can get. And the counsel in the ISUPK believes that brotherhood suffereth long. The counsel in the ISUPK believes that you cannot be a whore on your husband because he plays the video game too much. It also believes that you cannot beat your wife because she runs her damn mouth. The council in ISUPK also believes that you have to stay with each other forever, which is why our council is so perfect, because it is so biased against you ever leaving each other. It's so biased against brothers leaving each other or hating one another that the only option is for it to last. The council is like this, right? Let's say any relationship that you have, and both relationships are two vehicles. They're two cars. And this could be a relationship between a man and his woman, or between a brother and a brother, right? Now, in both of the vehicles are messed up. They're tore up. The tires need to be changed. They balding out. The alternator need to be fixed. The transmission fluid is leaking out. You got a hole. You got a rip in the conveyor belt. The engine is smoking. You ain't got no oil. Oil done got rotted so bad it's creating lumps and rocks inside the oil. The AC don't work. It's in the middle of the summertime. It's 99 degrees out. Both of these cars are terrible. Officer Sadat can't fix it. He done tried to fix it. It ain't working. He like, I can fix any goddamn thing. Look. But the point is that both of these relationships are trashed. They're tarnished. The relationships in the world and the counsel that you'll get in the world will give that car a button. And then that, if you press that button, you can get out of the car. You can go get a new car. You could get out the car and trade the car in. You can get out the car and just not have a car. You can walk, go get a bike or a motorcycle. You could fly, get a goddamn helicopter for all I care. But the car and the truth, which is synonymous with the counsel that the ISUPK gives, it does not come with that button. And because that car does not have that button for you to leave, what must you do with that car?
It's like, yes, sir. You have to stay with it.
You have to stay with it, but what else do you have to do? That's absolutely correct. You got to stay with the car. You can't get out.
Suffer alone.
You suffer it, but what else?
Endure
it. Okay, think about it. Think about the actual car that you have. Sadat, if you can't get a new car at all, it's done. You can't get another car for the rest of your life. You have to do what?
You have to fix the car.
You got to fix the car, because you have to make that car get you from point A to point B, however you can do it. However many mechanics it takes, however many times you got to call General Mahaiman, however many times you got to call Captain Isupk, however many times you got to separate yourself, however many times you got to walk out the house, however many times you got to call Thabawan and say, can I come sleep on your couch tonight? Can I come sleep on your couch again tonight? Can I just stay with you for a week until things cool out the house? However, whatever you have to do, you have no choice but to make that car go from point A to point B. And that's how the ISUPK is still here, because we don't have no choice. There is no button for us to go and create our own Israelite group. We don't have that choice. What we do have the choice to do is just we sit right in here with the brothers that we hate. You understand? Of course, we don't hate each other, because of course we don't. Because the brothers in here, of course, the brothers and the sisters in here, of course, the best people on the face of the planet Earth as it stands today. But even if we had thoughts with each other, we would sit right here and we would get work done. Why? Because we have a debt to pay. Right. You understand? Next question. Come on. Also, give me Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5 real quick. I try to give a scripture for every question that's asked so you can revert back to it.
You said Proverbs chapter 1 and 6.
1 and 5. Let me get that too. I may be wrong. I think it's Proverbs 1 and verse 5 or something like that.
So like you said. I got it.
What you got?
I got you. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5, and it reads, a wise man will hear and will increase learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
Shall attain unto wise counsel. Now, wise is, of course, short for what? Wisdom. And what is your wisdom? How do we gain wisdom in this earth?
Like through going through like trials and tribulations.
That's true, right? But the wisdom that saves lives is not simply by going through trials and tribulations. Our wisdom is our what? I may need a precept. I may need a precept. What is our wisdom? Brother?
Our Bible.
It's a precept Baruch 4:1.
Is it what?
Baruch 4:1.
Let me see what you got. I mean, maybe. Let me see. Give me. It's not that, but I want to see what you got. What is it? I give y'all a hint so we can move on. It's in the book of Deuteronomy. All right. What is your wisdom? Any other questions online? Go ahead and type them in the chat. Any questions in the room? Just raise your hand.
This is Baruch 4:1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and that the law that endureth forever.
Mm-hmm.
All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
I wouldn't use that one because it doesn't say wisdom, right? Go ahead, young man in the back.
The laws are what's already told to you.
Say that one more time.
The laws are what's already told to you.
He own it, man. But I want the precept now. I ain't gonna let you slide with that. You getting ready for Hebrew Academy, right? Ain't you about to be in Hebrew Academy this year? Or what you got? What you? Come on, man. Don't look back. What you gonna do? He said, I'm scared. I'm scared of that, man. I ain't trying to meet Cap McCod face to face. I ain't trying to see them lions and bears up in there. I feel you, brother. I would be scared too. You understand? But I can't let that slide. I need that precept. Just that.
Salakia, sir, would it be Deuteronomy 4 and 6?
That's exactly what it is. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Keep,
therefore, and do them.
Hold on. It might need to go to verse no sweat. This is talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Keep, therefore, and do them. Keep going.
For this is your wisdom.
For this is your wisdom. Your wisdom comes from the law, statutes, commandments. It's how you know what is right from wrong. It's how you know what you should do versus what you should not do. Keep going.
And your understanding.
And it's also your understanding. The way you give counsel is based off of what? The law, statutes, commandments. It comes from the Most High. That's how you counsel someone. You understand? If Tabawan calls me and says, Yarmak, man, look, man, this brother was staring at me, man. And you know, I got my son in the car and so on and so forth. I'm thinking I should deck him in his face right now, man. What should I do? Of course, I'm not authorized to give counsel, but if I was, I would have to say what? Like, why? Because decking him in the eye would be a sin because he's looking at you. And then he would be wrong. And now he would be sinning against the Lord because of my counsel, which is the difference between the counsel from the Lord and the counsel from the world. The counsel from the world will tell your woman to absolutely go sleep with that other man. They would absolutely say do it. They would say definitely go to the bachelorette party and go be in the party butt naked while some man comes in there and says, is there a fire in here, even though it's a hotel room, and he starts to take off all his clothes. And they would say to release yourself and to have some freedom and some free time for yourself so that you can grow. The counsel in the world will absolutely tell you to do that. The counsel in the truth could never, because the counsel comes from the Lord, and our counsel is wise while theirs is foolish. Right. You understand? If you even look at even if you look at some of the movies, they even make jokes about it, where some of the people will be in them little counseling rooms paying some idiot Edomite woman $300 an hour to sit there and talk, and the woman says absolutely nothing, doesn't say anything except, and even on some movies, they doing what back there with the notepad? They're drawing pictures. They're drawing pictures while you're in a life-threatening event. Your life is in turmoil, and they're drawing pictures, and they say, and then you say, you know what? I figured out what I got, and then they run out the building, pay them $2,000 for nothing because it's childish. It's nonsense. It's just a way for America to make money off of you because we don't have righteous counsel, so we're subject to use theirs. Right. When their counsel does not help us. You understand? But that's the difference. Anything else?
You want me to finish this out, sir?
Yeah, you can finish it out if it's more.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding
Mhm.
in the sight of the nations,
Mhm.
which shall hear all these statutes
Uh-huh.
and say, surely this great nation
Uh-huh.
is a wise and understanding people.
This great nation is a wise and understanding people. The people around you will know that you're wise because of the counsel that you get. Your grandparents, your mothers, the people who hate the truth, they can hate the truth all they want. But when they hear about the counsel that General Muhammad gave, ooh-wee, good night. They couldn't even fathom some of the things that he says, some of the things that he's done. You understand? Some of the things that all the generals and all the captains in the school has done. You understand? Because they follow a wise counsel. Done. Next. Or is that it, Sadat?
That's the end of that verse.
All right, come on. Oh, sis, come on. Come on with it. We got some time. The class endureth forever. It suffereth long.
So I was going to ask, is there like such thing as fasting more than one day? Is that possible?
Give me the fasting scriptures, officers. I'm about to start pulling to Zariox on y'all. Y'all in here looking strong. Y'all gonna help me. Now, this would be clear. Just to clarify, are you asking, can you fast for more than one day? Like, is that something that you can do if you yourself wanted to do that?
Right.
Okay, no sweat. Officers, give me the fasting scriptures. If you don't get it, I'll get it for you.
Go ahead, sir.
What you got?
Come on. Got the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites.
When you fast, be not as the hypocrites, right? Hypocrites. These are your Christians, man. Your Christian church, they are the hypocrites. Keep going.
Of a sad countenance. For they disfigure their faces.
That meaning what? What does that mean? They have a sad countenance and they disfigure their faces. Let's see if one of the young men could get it. Come on. That, right. But what specifically as far as their countenance? The countenance of them is sad. It's low, right? They walk around as if they're fasting. Right. Like you see them and you could tell, damn nigga, you need something to eat? You look like you looking bad. Right. You understand? They fasting. So what they do in the morning? They don't brush their teeth. They don't wipe their face off. They don't put some lotion on their face. They don't put lotion on nothing. They just looking ashy and dirty and looking like they 2 hours away from dropping dead. You understand? They have a low countenance. Keep going.
Okay. For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast.
That they may appear unto men unto fast. Why? Why do they disfigure their faces so that men can see that they're fasting? Why do they do this? Right, Shaw?
It's like, sir, if I could to get some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not mercy, but it's like a feeling of oh, woe is me, like, you know, look at me in my pain, kind of thing. Man, there's a word for that. I can't think of it right now.
Young man.
No, it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good answer, right? Because they want everyone to think that they're what? Think about the class. Because of what people will see, they want everyone to think that they are what?
Righteous.
They want everyone to think that they're a child of God because of what happens outwardly, which is why they'll show you, hey, I'm fasting. Hey, Tabawan, hey, yeah, I just wanted to call you and let you know, man, I ain't played the video game in 20 days. Oh, really, man? What's wrong? Your video game broken? What's going on? You ain't got no Wi-Fi? No, man, I'm glad you asked, man. I've been fasting for the Lord, man. Just doing a fast for the Lord. Okay, good for you and him. You understand? What the hell does that got to do with me? Nothing. Go ahead. I wouldn't say that they want to be edified because edification means that they're actually learning something. What they want to do is teach you something. They want to teach you that they're a child of God and you're not, because they're fasting for 3 days and you haven't done it, which is why they tell you. This is the only reason anyone ever tells you they're fasting, is because they want you to know that they're a child of God and you're less than them. Because I fast. That's like that pastor who died, right? Because he tried to fast for 40 days like Christ did, and he killed himself like an idiot. He want everyone to see that I'm like Christ and you're not. So he tries to fast for 40 days and dies, because of course Yahweh ain't letting that go down, because he's not Christ and you can't do what Christ did. You understand? Keep going.
Oh God. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
They have their reward. You understand? And it's not a good one. Keep going.
Verse 17. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face.
When you fastest, you anoint thy head and wash your face. Clean up. Clean up your face. Put the lotion on. Look beautiful. You understand, brothers? Clean up your face. Put the lotion on your face, whatever the hell you do in the morning, and you go wherever you go, and you don't tell a soul about nothing that you're doing. No one should even know. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 18. That thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
And he shall reward thee openly. Now go to Esther chapter 4 verse 16. Now the sister's specific question was, can you fast for 3 days? You can fast anything you like, to answer your question plainly. You understand? If you want to fast from not playing a video game as a brother for a month, that's between you and the Lord. If you want to fast from not eating meat for a year, that's between you and the Lord. Except on the Passover, you have to eat lamb, because that is the law, right? Go ahead, read what you got.
Chapter 4, verse 16.
And
it reads, go gather together
all
the Jews that are present. Each eat meat.
And fast. And so they didn't eat or drink for 3 days. That's just your question, right? All right. Keep going. Oh, does he have a microphone? Salakia. Just read it again from the top.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And then if I perish, I perish.
Meaning what Esther was trying to do was trying to save the Israelites from being slaughtered, right? Which is why we have, if I'm not mistaken, the Feast of Purim, which is in this sister's honor, right? Because of what she did, because the king's men wanted to murder and wipe out the Jews that were living during that time. And because of her faith in the Lord and her fasting and her telling her brothers to fast for 3 days, which you can do if that's what you choose to do, right? She was able to save the children of Israel so that we could be here today. But to answer the sixth question, if you want to fast for 3 days, you can. Now, don't be. If you're pregnant, can you fast for 3 days? No. If you're pregnant, can you not take your prenatal pills? No. If it's during the somebody help me out, Day of Atonement, if you're pregnant, can you not eat? You have to eat, right? Because you're pregnant. If you're terminally ill and you have to take medication, take the medication. If you're a baby, don't go and try to fast for 40 days and 40 nights and get yourself killed. The Lord is not what Christians try to make him out to be. You understand? If you fast for a day, that's between you and the Lord. You're going to get rewarded for that. for that sacrifice for the Most High, so on and so forth. But your fast is up to you, and you do whatever you want to do into the length that you want to do it. But don't kill yourself, because then you be sinning. You killed yourself from starvation. Go ahead.
And on topic of what you're saying, don't sit there and do it outwardly so people can just see you and be like, "Oh, she's trying to,"
All right.
right.
Yeah, don't do what you could take. The only law that the Lord gave us as far as fasting is the Day of Atonement, which is sun up to sun, which is sun up to sun up, or is it sundown? Salakia, sundown to sundown, Salakia, and that's it. We can handle that, and that's very small compared to what Christ had to do in the wilderness for 40 days, and that's all the Lord requires of us. But again, you could do that, sister. If that's what you want to do. And you can also fast by doing other things, like you could fast by not drinking alcohol, right, for a month or however long you want it, even for a day. If you got a drinking problem and you can't drink, and you say to the Lord, "I'm not going to drink today for the Lord," that's between you and him. You understand? Next question. Oh, sis, you had another question, right? Come on with it.
I was going to ask about dealing with family members.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they know certain things, like about the word and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they refuse
Uh-huh.
to, like, do what I'm doing, like coming to school. I mean, what can I do about
Give
that?
her a hand. Good night. I was questioning. I was wanting to see. I seen the sister a couple times. I wanted to know, is she just coming to get information, or she about to rock and roll with us? You understand? Most High in Christ. I'm messing with you. Come on, though. But you saying your family member, they see what you doing, but they don't want to come to class. They don't want to come check out the ISUPK so far and so forth. I understand exactly what you're saying. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 7. Or was there more to your question? Sly, I didn't mean to cut you off. Was there more to your question?
No.
Okay. So this is let me ask you a question. Do they consider themselves to be Israelites?
Oh yeah.
They do? Do they follow another camp or something like that?
No.
They don't?
No.
So they're individualites. I mean, Salaki. But they're Israelites, but they stand alone. No sweat.
Hey, Salaki, sir.
Uh-huh. All right, hold on one second. Now, as far as dealing with them, you can, of course, because of course, when you find the truth, of course, you want to bring the truth to everybody. You want to tell your mother about the truth. You want to tell your friends and your family and your father about the truth. And you coming to them like, "Oh my God, like I done found gold. I'm trying to bring you to the gold. It's here. I found it." Right? And of course, when they deny it, it kind of shuns you. It kind of it like deflates you a little bit, because you like, "Well, how the hell did I just find gold? I'm telling you, it's gold around the corner up the street, but yet you're not trying to come see the gold with me." What you got to understand is one of two things. One, the Lord don't want everybody. That's a fact. The Lord has never, ever wanted everybody. Never. The Lord is all about those who choose to want him. That's what the Lord wants, which is why everybody ain't in here. It's why everybody didn't follow Abraham. They didn't. Everybody didn't follow Noah during the flood. Everybody didn't follow a Lot out of Sodom and Gomorrah, or Moses out of Egypt. We all didn't follow him. Some of us wanted to stay with the Egyptians, but the Lord don't want them. But the Lord does want is you. And what you can do is you can show them that they're wrong by your life, by your example, and then they'll see it. You don't have to tell them nothing. They'll see by your counsel that you are with the men of the Lord, or you in the house of the Most High, in the body of Christ, and they can be on their own. But no sweat, because this is kind of part of my topic. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 7.
Salaki, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Go ahead. What you got?
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 7.
Also, this Salakia, but also to answer the question specifically, there ain't nothing you got to do for them or with them. You understand? As far as interact with them, you interact with them just like your family members. You go to them, they may say shalom, or they may try to say shalom or shalom, and you stand strong on what you know. You say shalom, and you say, well, why are you saying shalom? Yada 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 yada. It's shalom. Then you can say, well, if it's shalom, cousin, then you can come to Friday class and you can say that to Officer Tabawan. And then when he says, no, I'm not stepping up in that school, I know, because you're a coward. Because you're a coward. Because you know Officer Tabawan is a killer in the Lashwan Kodash, and he's going to embarrass you on live. He's going to embarrass you if you come to the class and try to question the UPK, which is why you'll never do it. And you know what that sounds like? It sounds like your Christian pastor. But no sweat. And then you can go on and make your waffles or whatever after having that great little conversation that lasted for all of a minute. And then they'll eventually leave you alone. Go ahead. What you got?
No, but that's what I had a question about, because I'd be wondering like how we get all divided and why we're not all together.
That's a great question, because that's like, in my topic. Come on.
No, because that's the thought process. Because my sister is the one who, introduced me to being an Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
And I ventured on because I was like, okay, it's got to be other of us out here in the world.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't just sit here in the room and read scriptures. I'm not getting no understanding.
Right.
I told my sister, even though she bought me in this walk.
Right.
But I told her, look, we got to be getting our sisters and brothers, and we got to get together. We can't just do it ourselves, because some things we don't know.
Right.
Where did we go from here?
Right. Most high
so
Christ.
Like,
hey, this sister right here is about hardcore, man. Hardcore than a mug right here, man. She said we gotta go get our brothers, man. And that's absolutely right. And that's a perfect spirit to have. And you share the same stuff. I was just talking to Maya Shaw earlier today. He told me that his best friend is the reason why he found the UPK. And he told me that. And I said, well, where's your best friend at? You live out here? He said, where he live at? He living right there. I'm like, nigga, what? Your best friend told you about the UPK. Why is he not in class? And what did you say? His family what? His family won't let him come to the UPK. You understand? So a lot of brothers go through the same thing where people know the truth, but they don't want to suffer the truth. Man, I could go into this all night. Salakia. Good. Uh-huh. Right. Good night. Which is what the does your family member do? The ones you talking about, do they smoke weed?
Oh no.
What do they eat pork?
No, we don't eat pork.
Do they eat shrimp?
No.
Lobster?
No.
Do they hold the Passover?
Yes.
Where?
We do it in the house. We've been doing it in the house for years.
Yeah, you can't do it in the house, sis. Good night. They in the house like, let me get the bitter herb. You got the oregano? Let me get the lamb. Y'all in there eating lamb chop sandwiches. It's a lot. I'm messing with you.
But I know you're gonna talk about me, but
no, I'm not talking about you, sis. That it's you better than most. You understand?
Yeah,
come on.
Because my sister, she was looking on YouTube and stuff, right? And that's how we found out about all of these camps. And then we was like, oh, they don't preach the same thing, or they, they all off. Like, and nobody's on one accord. What's going on?
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? This camp's doing this. They celebrating the Passover this day. And I'm like, okay, it got to be some more questions. We need questions.
Good night. Tabawan, I'm about to have to bring you up here, man. I'm about to have to bring Officer Tabawan up here so we can get that history going, man. But we're gonna get into. I'm gonna try to break this down as quickly as possible. Of course, all of these questions are to why, because this is extensive. I could go into this. I could break down the parable of the sower. Right, the parable of the sower is what your family is. Who's that? That's Alexa. They found the parable of the sower on the web. Good night. but your family members, they would be more so of the type of seeds that grew in the thorns, right? In the parable of the sower, meaning they landed in the soil, right? They learned about being an Israelite. They're proud to say that they're an Israelite. They'll tell everybody in the world, man, I'm an Israelite, man. I don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. I don't celebrate Christmas. But they don't want to suffer to live the life that an Israelite lives, which is to be in the truth, which is to have to make it to Texas to make it to the 52nd annual Passover, or to have to make it to Florida for the 53rd annual Passover, or to have to make it to Fayetteville on this coming Sunday for the memorial blowing of the trumpets. They'd rather just say, I'm an Israelite, but I ain't about to lose no sleep over it. I'm going to have the Passover in my kitchen. You understand? I ain't gonna be cooking for those brothers at that park because there's too many of them. I'm not gonna be on the grill or washing dishes or cooking unleavened. Give a hand for the sisters that cook that unleavened bread. Good night. I remember being at the Passover and seeing a message that said, if you was a sister, you had to report to the kitchen and help cook the unleavened bread. And I remember thinking to myself, damn, I'm glad I'm not a sister because I'm not trying to do that. I ain't trying to go to the kitchen and cook no bread. But them sisters went in there and they got it done. They didn't go cook for themselves inside of their kitchen, man. They cook for brothers across the world because that's our tradition. It's how we've always done it. You understand? But give me the scripture. Who holding? I'm gonna try to get through this. I can't break down a parable of the sower tonight. It's gonna take too long. But again, the parable of the sower, they land in the soil, but they get choked out by the truth. They love the truth. They love that brothers is getting together. I'm sure your friend, they love the fact that people is coming together or they doing what they doing, whatever. But they don't want to suffer to be in here with us. They don't want to suffer the pain that comes with being in truth, which is how fake Israelite groups started. And we're gonna get into it. Read what you got.
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 7. And it reads, Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily.
Hold on 1 second. Switch mics. I want this brother right here to read. I want him to read. All right.
This is John chapter 10, at verse 7. Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Make sure his microphone is on, Maisha. He said that this is Christ speaking, right? And Christ is giving a parable to the disciples. And he said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. What does that mean, that Christ is the door of the sheep? Sadak. Meaning, you don't get to the truth without going through Christ. You don't get to the knowledge or the understanding of the Bible without getting it from him, right? This is what Christ is saying. Now keep this in mind, because of course in the Isupk, what do we say? We are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group. There's only one way, one doctrine, one baptism, one body, and that's one West. No other camp says that. They go to unity camps. Why? Because they believe that you can do whatever. They believe you can have a Passover at home and still be in the truth. You can't. Christ said, I am the door. Keep going. Come on.
This is verse 8.
All
that ever came before me are thieves and robbers. But the sheep did not hear them.
But the sheep did not hear them. Keep going. Meaning the ones that the Lord wanted to be in the truth, they don't hear IUIC teaching people to go and worship the dark side of the moon. They don't listen to that nasty nonsense. The IUIC want to be on the dark side of the moon so they can do things that people don't see as well. So they can sleep with all the transgenders they want to on the dark side of the moon. They got the nerve to teach that the angels are training on the. What the hell do angels have to train for? They training, they marching, huh? They up there doing a strike, throat strike, front kick. Angels, huh? Come on. Right. There's that as well. Like, damn, go to the dark side of the sun. I thought the whole shit was lit up. Damn. If you're on one side, it's going to blind you. Go to the other, you're going to be blinded. Ain't no dark side. Same thing with the moon. You understand? But Salaki, keep going.
This is verse 9. I am the door.
I am the door. Keep going.
By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.
By me, meaning there's only one way. Keep going.
And shall go in and out and find pasture.
Now go to verse 1. Now this is your fake Israelite group.
This is
and sad to say it, sis, but this is your family. I'm sorry. Well, a lot of us have the same family members, but this is just the truth. Keep going.
This is John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold.
He that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, meaning he doesn't come in through that straight gate. He doesn't come in through that one body. You understand? Keep going.
But climbeth up some other way.
I ain't gonna go to the Passover at the 53rd annual Passover that they've been holding for almost 53 years. I'm not gonna go to the one that's been here since 1969, since before I was even breathing. I'm gonna just have one in my kitchen. I'm gonna just go to the one at Golden Corral that they having. I'm gonna enter in some other way. I want to have a Passover too. Well, how'd you hear about the Passover? For some Israelites? Oh, so they having a Passover. Yeah, they having one down there in Florida. But I'm gonna just go to Golden Corral and have my own one. You enter in some different way. You climbing over the gates. Keep going.
The same is a thief and a robber.
The same as a thief and a robber. You steal the Passover. You're not holding it. You steal the feast. You're not holding it. You stealing the traditions. You're not keeping them. You understand? Because you're supposed to be keeping them with your brother. And what sense does that make? What sense does it make? Think about this thousands of years ago with the disciples and how they had to roll with Christ. And they had to be under the strict, pain, harsh tutelage and instruction that Christ gave them. There were brothers who was on boats with their families. When Christ said, come on, they hopped off ships and followed him, not knowing where they was going to go. Not knowing these brothers didn't have jobs. They left their families and their jobs and went and followed Christ. I forget the brothers, and I want to say it's Mark. But a brother lost his father. And what did Christ tell him? What did Christ tell him? Christ, go ahead. He said, let the dead bury the dead. He lost his father, and Christ did not give him 7 days to mourn, which is the law, which is our tradition. Christ said, let the dead bury the dead. We got work to do. So you telling me some fake Israelite going to come and bring glory to Christ's name when they didn't have to say to let their father bury themselves? They didn't have to hear let the dead bury the dead when their father died. No, they didn't have to hear you got to make it all the way to Florida or all the way to Houston for the Passover. They didn't have to hear that. They had it in their kitchen. But they supposed to get what? When they don't have to check in every Wednesday. They don't have to go through the Hebrew Academy. They don't have to cook the unleavened bread for thousands of men. They don't have to do that. They do what they want to do. They have camp whenever they want to have camp. They call up on the phone, hey, brothers, how y'all feeling? Y'all feeling too? Y'all want to go out there and preach the gospel? Y'all want to go? Okay, we going to go. While brothers in here, we sitting there knowing what? That because we soldiers, every Saturday, we already know we going to camp until we get the text that we not. It be hailing and storming and flooding outside, and we still what? Sitting at the door like, I guess we're going to die in the flood then. I guess Cap don't give a damn about us. I guess we just going to die. But we still ready to go and do it because there's only one way into this truth, and that's through that straight door, not through some other gate. You understand? Somebody pulled a scripture. If they was with us, they would have surely stayed. You understand? This is how fake Israelites are made because it's so easy to go in some other way. It's so easy to pick up the book of Esther or to pick up the book of Jasher and say, you know what? I got something that the Isupk don't have. That's why y'all should follow me because because we believe in some book that's got a million contradictions in the goddamn book. You understand? Sadak, what you got? Come on with it. Mm-hmm. And then someone also get me the straight gate.
Kind of what kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 19. They went out from us.
They went out from us. Now, sis, this is what you got to know, and I'm gonna let you get there. But this is what you got to know as far as the history of the Israelites, right? It's just as important as knowing that Peter took over the school after Christ had died. Peter took over, meaning what? Peter was in charge. So now, after he's saying right here, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entered not by the door into the shepherd, but climbeth up some other way is the same as a thief and a robber. He's talking about himself, right? Now when Christ died, who became that person? When Christ died, who became the door? Nope. Peter became the door that you had to go through. You wanted to be in the body of Christ, you had to go and be under who? Peter. You had to be under Peter, because that's the only way. You understand? When Peter seen the fake Israelite, damn man, I gotta someone give me that one too. When they said that those who are not against us are on our part. Someone get that one as well. You understand? Good night. Hold on, what we got? Good night. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. Read what you got, Sadat.
Kind of the one kind. They went out from us.
They went out from us. The ISUPK was started in 1969. Whatever Israelite group you thinking of, they started in 2008 at the earliest. Good night. You understand? I remember battling some Israelite group. I remember asking them, when did they start their group? They in Fayetteville too. I forget the name of them. They wear red, right? And I asked them, and they said that they started in 2019. And I said, are you kidding? This is for real. This is for real. They started in 2009. Like, what the hell didn't just make you go to IUIC?
Right.
Why didn't you just join GOCC? Or I'm sure there's other groups out there, some fake Israelite groups or something. What in your brain made you take, because you had to have learned it from somewhere. You're not going to convince me that you were a baby and grew up your whole life and just thought, oh, I know the breakdowns of John 3:16. You got it from somewhere, and you took that knowledge and said, we're going to wear red over here. We're going to go to camp. It disturbs my brain that you would even do something like that. You understand? That's like me walking to the NBA game, and I'm walking through the security gate, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the Durham Nighthawks. We the newest NBA team, and we about to start playing the Miami Heat tonight. What the hell is you talking about? They got NBA teams already set up, Ak. And if you want to be in the NBA, who do you have to go through? The NBA, Ak. There's no other way around it. There's only one way to get in there. You better do what they say do, otherwise you're going to be a fan. Just like every fake Israelite group is to the ISUPK.
That's right.
They're a fan and a spectator who can't get in. You understand? But read what you got. And now, ISUPK started 1969. All of these groups left the school. Tahar left the school and went where? He created GMS. I thought he went somewhere before he created GMS. House of David, right? And then created GMS. Why did Tahar leave? Tahar left because of a council that was had because he wanted to teach that we could sleep with white women, right? And of course, because the major council was found that he was wrong for teaching that, he left the school and then went to go create his own school. And now what does GMS teach? That you can rape women, right? That you could sleep with underage women, right? And that you can sleep with white women and specifically rape them. There's videos of GMS on YouTube right now where they say that you can take a woman and you can cut her a little bit. I laughed. It's like, God damn, how sick in your brain do you have to be to say you're going to cut a woman a little bit on her neck? You can cut her a little bit, bang her up a little bit, and then you can, they never want to say it. They always stutter. You can. Oh, really? But that's how that started. You understand? IUIC, same thing. AOC, same. GOC, anything. Tazadakia wanted to be what? He wanted to be rich. He wanted to be a producer or a millionaire or rap, whatever, a rap artist. He wanted his faces on the buses. That's what he wanted. And so he left ISUPK because he couldn't have it. Because he couldn't have his face on the bus. You understand? And so now, you understand, he did. Of course, Tazadakia is now dead. He got killed for COVID, I think, in 2019. But no sweat. If they were with us, keep going.
They went out from us.
They left from us. They left the school. Keep going.
But they were not of us.
They were never of us. They were never in the truth. Keep going.
For they, Salakia, if they had been of us.
If they had been of the truth. You understand? If they had been one West from the beginning, like they love to give reference to, keep going.
They would not doubt, Salakia, they would no doubt have continued with us.
They would have no doubt continued with us. Now, if you read the book of Revelations, it says that the earth opened up his mouth to swallow up the lies that the world, or to help the earth from the lies that was proliferated throughout the earth, right? 1969 is where that happened, with the seven heads and Abba Bibbins teaching the truth and opening up one West so that we can know that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible. And that's where it started. Now, it's never ended. And so now, if your family knows that they're Israelites, and they know about the Lashuan Quadash, and they know about the feast and the high holy days, and they know about these things, then why are they not here? Why are they not with the truth? If they know about the truth, it came from someone. They didn't create it. At some point, you had to know that Benjamin was the West Indians. You didn't know that. You don't. I guarantee you right now, go to any fake Israelites and say, show me the 12 tribes in the Bible. Show me where Zebulun. Show me how you know Zebulun is Zebulun in the Bible. I guarantee you, they don't have no clue. They'll watch class and they'll get the breakdown on how the Lord said that Zebulun's foot will be dipped in oil, and how you know that right now who has the greatest oil reserve on the face of the planet Earth? Zebulun does. Venezuela, because that's who they are. But of course, they probably getting it right now. I'm gonna write that down just in case somebody asks me. But they don't know that, which is why they should just be in here following you.
Right.
They should follow your example. Is there any more on that?
Count on one kind.
Come on.
They no doubt, Salakia, they would no doubt have continued with us.
They would have continued with us because that's the way of the Most High. They would have still been here in One West. They would not have allowed discord and differences and alts to dismember the body. Why would they have not allowed those things to dismember the body? If someone can answer this, you will blow my mind. I will be utterly proud of you, brothers, if you can answer this question. Why would, if they were with us and they were here to truly serve the Lord in the one body of Christ in 1969, why would they have never left the school and created another school? Why would they have not let discord and oughts and fights and disagreements to make them leave the school? You own it, but no, I want you to get it. Think about the scripture. Think about what we was teaching earlier today. Maisha, give me this exact phrase. You know it. You know it. Think about it like this, huh? I'm your brother right now. Right? I claim to be your brother, right? Y'all look at me. I'm in the seat right now. Tabawan is in the seat right now. Outside Rock, they hold the seats. You look up to these men. You think that these are your brothers. But if they turn around and steal your money, are you gonna look to them as brothers anymore? No. Why? Why?
Salakia, sir, I would say it did not suffer as long.
You just said it, but I want you to say it the correct way. Because charity what?
Suffer as long.
Because charity suffereth long. Meaning they would have still been here saying that I've been there since 1969 and I'm still here, old and decrepit, can't walk, can't go to camp, in my hospital bed, but bury me as a priest, please. They would have still been here because true brotherhood suffereth long. And so if they are not here, that means they never had what? Brotherhood. They never had it. And the script, you pulled the scripture earlier today. How can you love the Lord without loving who? Your brother. So how could they ever be in the body of Christ if they don't love their brothers enough to not allow discord to separate them? What you got? Slack out of one.
Hey, Slaka, what you saying is so heavy. Listen. All right, yo, check it out. The other thing on what you just said, which is very heavy, how can you experience a brother having an ought with you if you an individual like at home eating lamb dinner by yourself? You see what I'm saying? How you putting this truth to the test by being an individual, like setting the tone? We are forced to be next to each other. You forced to be next to this brother next to you and having to deal with you. We're forced to be in this building with one another and having to deal with each other and going through the natural issues that humans go through. But with this system under Command Junior Han and the Isupk, we actually get to put it to the test. And as an individual, like just being home, celebrating the high holy days alone, you don't have that pressure. You understand? You come in the truth, you're going to get that pressure. You know what I mean? Shalom.
That damn, give him a hand. Damn right. You understand? Because of course the whole point, like a Israelites mantra is to do what? To build a nation. Ain't they what they always say? We building a nation. How you building a nation alone? Who you building a nation with? Your mama? You gonna build a whole nation, just you and your grandma, huh? Eating lamb for the Passover on a date that you decided. How you know what day the Passover is? I bet you look at the moon, huh? You done what the moon? How you know what date it is? Or you just picked one. You said GOCC holding theirs on this date, IUIC holding theirs on this date, this date. Y'all want to flip a coin on it? Let's just pick. And if you pick IUIC, then just go to their Passover.
Right.
Just go be with them. If you holding the Passover the same day as AOC, then call AOC and go be with them. Show a slight sense of brotherhood and a slight sense of disgust of selfishness. Otherwise, what are you doing? You understand? Now, of course, if you go with AOC, of course you're wrong because they are not even in the truth. You understand? But everyone should be at the Passover wherever Commander Jenny Yohana says it is. You understand? Because if Christ was on this earth today, that's where he would be. He would be exactly wherever Commander Jenny Yohana said. Well, where Christ says it's like it. Go ahead.
It's like that's heavy what you're saying too, because what it really should let you know is that the only group that says the same thing that Christ said about being the door is the ISUPK.
The only group.
No other group tries to
Only
say
one.
like, oh, our Passover is the Passover.
Right.
Our, you know what I'm saying, Feast of Unleavened Bread, our Feast of Purim is the Feast of Purim. They'd be like, oh, no, come as you are. You can go to any group you want. That's just like the Christian church. If you go to Mount Zion Baptist Church on this corner, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to say, oh, yeah, you have to come to this church on this corner to, you know what I'm saying, to serve the Most High. They're going to say, no, just be a Christian. Just accept Lord and say, you know,
Right.
he's your savior. Only the ISUPK says, no, this is the home of truth.
Right.
Home of the truth. This is, you know what I'm saying, where the spirit of Christ is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it can't be nobody else because they would be saying the same thing. So like,
Right, but they know they can't. They know they can't say that this is the home, that they are the home of the truth, because of course the ISUBK is, and of course, like he said, who does that sound like? Your Christian pastor. When TDJ, when Eddie Long died, right? Y'all know who Eddie Long is, right? He was found guilty of child molestation and a whole lot of all that stuff, but he died. And when he died, his congregation left and went to TD Jakes' church, and they tried to start following TD Jakes. What did TD Jakes tell them when he died? When they came inside his church,
Salakia.
mm-hmm.
He sent them back.
He said, "Go back to Eddie Long." He said, "Don't leave him." You understand? Because a pimp don't mess with another pimp's hoes.
Good.
They don't. You don't touch another pimp's hoes. You send her back to her pimp. Whether she been beaten on, regardless of you have to understand how disgusting that is. They were molested, and he said, "Go back to that church." You understand? But that's like your fake Israelite group who says that you can go, we can have a unity. It's so gay. What the hell is a unity camp? I'm supposed to get on the mic and say what? Shalom, everybody. Just letting y'all know that fake Israelites don't have the truth. Here you go, brother. I just wanted to say that we all have the truth. No, they don't. What the hell is supposed to happen? Of course, I end up beating all the. So like, I ain't gonna another story, but of course it would never work, man. But that's what you get from being. Give me somebody was holding something for me. Finish that one, and then you got Matthew, right? And we're gonna end on that.
Kind out of one kind.
Mm-hmm.
It says, they would no doubt have continued with us, but they went out that they might be made manifest.
That they might be made manifest. What does it mean that they might be made manifest? What does it mean to be made manifest? Why do they go and read the book of Jasher? Why do they go and use the book of Enoch? Why do they read the Hebrew Bible? Why do they go to these other texts? Why do they use other things? What does it mean to be manifest? They want to be made great. They want to be seen by everyone else. Because, of course, in the ISUPK, they had to do what? You had to vacuum the floor, Og. You had to vacuum the floor and pick up the crumbs from the floor. You had to go and sweep up the cobwebs from the corner of the building. You had to give Sadak a hand. God damn. You had to build all of this stuff by hand. You had to make all of these things by hand and damn near get no recognition for it. You had to do it nonetheless. But of course, a brother who was so much weaker than Sadak would say what? Well, I could take my talents and go build my own school. I don't have to build things for them. I could build my own school and be the general of the school that I built myself, which is why they want to be made manifest. They don't want to come in, which is why y'all seen the interview with Sarnetta, right? And he told Captain Cesar, he said, I'll come into school, but can I be a captain? Exactly. Because he wants to be manifest. He wants to be seen. You understand? I'll let y'all in on I don't even know if I should tell this story, but I ain't gonna give no names. I'll let you in on a brother who was a bona fide millionaire, bona fide money, Bentleys, Rolls Royces, 12 Lamborghinis, so on and so forth. And he had the idea to rent out, I ain't even gonna say the stadium because I might give it away, to rent out a professional NFL stadium for our Passover. He was gonna pay for the whole thing, pay for it. But you know what he wanted? He wanted to sit at the table with the generals, even though he was barely a trooper. You know what the general said? Passover, number, this location that is not a stadium, that is somewhere else, because we're not accepting that. Kick rocks. That's the integrity of the UPK. Your money doesn't get you manifesting here, but of course he'll probably go start his own fake Israelite group and call it Money Israelites. Who knows? Come on, Salaki.
Kind of one kind. That they might be made manifest. That they were not all of us.
They were not all of us. They were not in the truth to begin with. Drop that. Go to when Peter seen a fake Israelite camp, and we're gonna end on this.
Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. It's Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
That's not the one I want. You can read that one, but someone find me when Peter seen it. When is that the same one?
No, lie, sir. You
holding both of them?
Why had you asked for the straight gate one, sir?
I asked for straight gate, Salakia, but I want the one with when Christ said, "They that is not against us is on our part."
Oh,
you can read what you got right now. Will someone else find it?
Come on. Book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate.
You enter in at the straight gate. Keep going.
For wide is the gate, and broad is the way.
Broad is the gate. I mean, wide is the gate, and broad is the way. Let's sis, back to you, right? Let me ask you a question. You said that your family members, right, don't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Who would they answer to if they did? What's the real answer? I get what you're saying, but what's the real answer? Who would they answer to? If they decide I'm gonna eat a little bit of shrimp on this date that this dude took me on, you know the answer. You know who you answer to if you do that? That sister sitting right beside you. You're gonna have to answer to her. You're gonna have to answer to the sister in front of you. You're gonna have to answer to the people that is around you that is also keeping the law, because you're in here with us.
That's right.
If they're alone, then who do they answer to? No, but they'll get it right next week. They go eat some shrimp, crab, pork. They go smoke some weed with their friends. Oh, this is what they call it, an oopsie. They made it a little mistake. A little what? A cheat date. Yeah. They had a cheat day for the Lord. They go, they gonna fast for 3 days afterwards, so it's all good for them. They have no one to answer to, so they can do whatever they want to do. You understand? Because their gate is wide. Their options are far. They're fast. So like, what was that? Fast? Oh, vast. So like, I thought you said fast. Their options are vast. They're broad. You understand? They can do whatever they want to do. They don't have to go to the Passover. No one's telling them, make sure you're at the Passover. They don't have to hold the Feast of Unleavened Bread. No one's telling them they have to do it, because they're outside of the nation of Israel. Right. They're not inside of it. Would you say, Audubon? Good night. Oh, Good night. That's the question. Who they pay their tithes to? Tithes is a law. You got to pay it to somebody.
That's right.
They get paid $100 from their check and they say 10%, Lord. Tithes in my pocket. Now I got $100 in my pocket. Paid my tithes. Who they pay their tithes to? You're gonna have to ask them that. You got to say, well, who you pay your tithes to? And if they pay their tithes to GOCC, they might as well just go to their Passover. Or Sakari. They might as well get up in that strip club with Sakari for the Passover. In the strip club. Good night. Read what you got.
For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
Wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction. Says you got to be an example for your family so that they don't lead themselves into destruction.
That's
because
right.
Of course, again, they believe that all of this is a fairy tale, it's a mystic type of thing, or religious to them. But it is not religious. This is absolutely practical, and this is something that is going to save the lives of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
That's right.
You understand? Keep going.
Okay.
And you need brothers to save your life. You need sisters to save your life. You need sisters that you can call on. You need sisters when you're absolutely out your mind and you don't know what to do, and you can say, I need someone to talk to. But you can't call your friends in the world because what they're going to tell you? I got this blunt for you. I don't know what else you want, but I got this blunt.
Right.
You can come over here and smoke with me, but you need righteous women. You need righteous people around you that you can call on for comfort. Keep going.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And many there bewitched go in thereat.
And there's many fake Israelites and individualites. Who got the other scripture I want? Did anyone find it? Anybody? No sweat, I'll get it. You got it? Yeah, it's Mark.
Okay. This is the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 38. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us.
Now, what does this sound like? This sound like what? When you see them fake Israelites, right? You see them fake Israelites, and they're out there casting out devils. They're teaching our people to stop eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. They're telling our people that we can't do this or we can't do that. They're casting out devils, right, in thy name, because they say they're doing it for who? For Christ. Them fake Israelites say they work for Christ, right? Keep going. But and he followeth what?
And he followeth not us.
And he followeth not us. Now hold on now, because every group says that that the UPK hates their brothers because we say we're not affiliated with no other Israelite group. What is Mark saying here? Read it one more time. He said what?
And he followeth not us.
He said they followeth not us. He's questioning what the hell they doing because they not with us. They didn't hop off the ship with us.
Right.
They didn't get told to let the dead bury the dead like we've been told. Right. They ain't have to. There was a brother in the Bible who was in a class that Paul was teaching who fell out the window of a second-story building. He fell out the window, and the brothers came, and guess what he did? He went right back up to class. He went right back up to class. If you don't believe me, I'll pull it. He went right back up. This is very practical. He went right back up to class. Any fake Israelite group with us. Come on. Come on now. Keep going.
And we forbade him because he followeth not us.
Because they followeth not us, meaning they spoke down on them because they don't follow you, because they not in the ISUPK. Right. They not with the home of the truth that was established in 1969 on 125th Street, Harlem, New York. They not here, so we forbade them. Keep going.
Verse 39. But Yahushua said, forbid him not.
Don't speak evil against them. He said, don't do nothing against them. Don't do nothing. Don't go shut their camp down like we could.
Right.
Don't get it twisted. Every single Israelite group that you see, even the purple millionaire faggots, Salakia, even the purple rain millionaires that you see, every last single one of them could get shut down this Saturday if Commander General Yohana told each captain each zone to shut their camp down.
Right.
It would get shut down. What I say, something? Go. Come on, man.
It's funny you bringing it up because today, after I came to try to pick up the brother and I was heading back, I stopped to check my car out. And just so happened to look across the street. And what is today? Tuesday? It's Tuesday, middle of the day, and they are on the corner with their sexy nightgowns with the fringes on the bottom, bothering people in the middle of the day. So like
with the velvet purple?
With the purple on. No, with the purple on, bothering people, and in my head, I'm like, I want to go over there and stop this bull.
Right.
I want to tell this woman to run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I called Thabawan. I'm like, Thabawan, dude. He like, man, listen. You know what I'm saying? Just hold your composure, basically. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I wish we could. Just go stop, go shut them down because they ain't got it. And they'll never get it. Salakia.
Damn right. You understand? And that's a perfect example of what Mark was going through in his own right. You understand? But just like Christ said to the disciples when the Romans had them, don't think that I can't kill all of them right now. Don't think that Commander General, don't think Captain Thought can't say, Sadak, grab 2 brothers and go out there and ruin every Israelite camp that you see. And they would have a nightmare on their hands because they couldn't stand to it. But the point is this, if they're not coming against us, meaning they're not stopping in front, because if they stop in front of our camp, good night. And we've seen the footage. If you haven't seen the footage, you can go look. It's on YouTube. They stop in front of our camp. They better off than shooting themselves in the head. Right. You understand? And going and laying down somewhere. Go ahead. Hell no, I ain't talking about that video. I'm talking about every single time any purple faggot ever thought to step to a priest and prophet of the Lord in the ISUPK. Every single time. Not that video. I'm talking about tonight if they get the balls to do it, Salakia. But of course they never would. No sweat. But they're not against us because why? The Christian church is against us. Our oppressor is murdering our people. You understand? The Chinese is pushing into our neighborhoods. The Middle Easterns is setting up tobacco stores in our neighborhoods and murdering our people. Those are our enemies. You understand? Keep going.
Okay. For there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me.
Now, why is Christ saying this? Why is Christ saying this? Good.
Not every Israelite is Israel.
And I wouldn't say that, right? They're still Israelites. They're still our brothers, and we love them. We love them brothers that wear purple. We love them brothers who in GMS who think that they can molest and rape and all of that stuff. We love them, which is why this class is open for them. They could come in. Commander General Yohana has given the decree and an order for all Israelites to come home. Right. We love them. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a home for them to come to. Right. You leave it up to General Mahaiman. The stance might be different. We might hate them literally. You might say, yeah, you're right. We don't have brotherhood. We hate you niggas. Good night. But Commander General Yohana is merciful, right? But why is Christ saying this? For time's sake, I'm going to give it to you. Because when they do the things that they do, when these fake Israelites go and they do the things that they do in this world, they speak evil of Christ because they didn't learn from Christ. You understand? It's almost like a false claimer. It's like some dude who's claiming to be Crip, but you go and G-check him, and guess what? This nigga ain't neighborhood. He ain't gang. You not Far West. You not Nutty North. You not nothing. You a nap. You a fake gang member. Salakia, I'm getting into it. Salakia. But you ain't really none of this. You understand? Go ahead. Exactly. They robbers and thieves, man. And so they speak evil on Christ's name. Why? Because they didn't get checked by Christ. You know who got checked by Christ? Peter. When Christ said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." You understand? They didn't have to get called Satan by Christ, but yet they performing miracles in Christ's name. When in actuality, they're doing nothing. And this is how they're doing that. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tabu. Right.
Oh yeah, we follow Christ.
Right.
You say you follow Christ and then teach somebody that they can molest a child.
Right.
You making Christ look bad. You speaking evil of him.
Right.
Salakia.
Which is what we about to get to right now. Read. And this is it.
Verse 40.
Uh-huh.
For he that is not against us is on our part.
Now, he that is not against us is on our part. How is he on our part?
He's still telling the brothers and sisters they're Israelites and they're giving some sort of the teachings, but not the true teachings.
Hell no. Fake Israelite can't teach you a goddamn thing. I don't give a damn if a fake Israelite told me that Christ was black. I would have to call Commander Jenny Yohana and confirm that first. You understand? He can't teach me nothing.
Okay.
Slacking,
sir, because they still somehow lead brothers and sisters into the truth.
How do they lead them to us?
By what they teach, by the way they do things, why they act.
Because they have the Passover in their kitchen.
Come on.
And then one day you find out that, damn, how the hell did you even pick what date the Passover was? And then now you have to go to the truth.
Come on.
Well, because they go to Las Vegas and they sleep with transgenders and shoot transgenders in their face.
Good night.
Because you hear Joy Morgan and you thought it was a good idea to wear purple, and now Joy Morgan is dead from being an IUIC, and now you don't want to go to IUIC. Go ahead, what you got? They not One West, which is why they do the things that they do. Because they teach that you can rape and you can sleep with underage women and you can do all kinds of nonsense and you got to worship the dark side of the moon and pay 30% in tithes and all kinds of nonsense. Yeah. It gets like that. Good night. I think IUIC Passover fee is like $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah, damn.
Just to go to the Passover. $1,500 to $2,000. You're gonna have to take out a pension to go to the damn Passover.
Come on.
You understand? But per person or per family, I don't know. I'm not in IUIC. I only hear what comes through the grapevine. But nonetheless, they are not with us, man. And Mark knew it, and Christ knew it. You understand? And Christ battled them on what they were teaching. What you got? Come on.
Them making people pay for the Passover, isn't that like buying the truth?
Lie. The Passover is an event, right? And the Passover is an inglorious event. So to say that they're wrong to make them pay for the Passover, they're not wrong, because of course the money got to come from somewhere. You understand? We're not in the kingdom of heaven as of yet. In the kingdom of heaven, of course, we'll have all the riches because we'll have slaves and we'll have infrastructure and resources, and all people will own companies and businesses. And just like politicians pay for their runnings and their elections, right? They have supporters who can send $20 million. They got supporters who could do this. In the kingdom of heaven, we'll have the same. We'll have that NFL stadium in the kingdom of heaven. Good night. We'll have something more glorious than that. We'll have like 10 NFL stadiums in the kingdom of heaven, man. You understand? But right now, it's not wrong for them to ask brothers to give money for the Passover, but to ask for $1,500, god damn. It shows who's in your congregation. Who's in their congregation? People who can afford to pay $1,500. What you got? Con.
Some of them fake Israelite groups, like the one I think you're talking about, their Passover is not in one place. They have different people presiding over Passovers in different zones.
Right.
So they have like a Houston one. Like, so while the Passover is going on in New York, one is also happening in Houston, LA, Miami, So they probably putting up all that money because they got to put it so damn spread out.
Good night.
So when we do Passover, which is the real Passover, everybody has to converge on one city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So of course it got to be paid for. You never gonna ask somebody to put up, $15,000, $1,500 for Passover. That's crazy.
Which is what Christ had to do. Christ converged on one area, you understand, for the Passover, and that's always been the tradition of Israelites, man. But you would never have that tradition by being in some fake Israelite group. You understand? And the home of the truth is ISUPK, started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969, and it is currently under the cruel tutelage and instruction and structure under Commander General Yohana. And anything other than that is a farce and a lie, man. You understand? And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Thabawan Salaki. I know we way over the time, man.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, this is the commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, of course, will be this Sunday, September 25th. It's the memorial blowing of the trumpets. If you're in the North Carolina area, it's going down at the Fayetteville School. I don't have the exact address at the moment, but stay tuned. We should get that to y'all real soon. At the end of the class, I'll find it for everybody here and give y'all the address. But yeah, that's where we'll be having it here. And again, that's September 25th. That's Sunday. Also remember, if you want to bring food or whatever, the menu is out. Get with Officer Mahayar about the food, about the menu. So you can, have your dishes and everything, and make sure you get there on time as well. If you are bringing food, 6 p.m. The latest. If you're bringing a dish to the feast of Memorial Blowing of Trumpets, Lakia. Want to remind Akim and Akwathan to check on social media, such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they need to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I mod him, which means to stand.